Hello everyone. This is a update on the repeat clock. Uh, so I've been trying to give some thought on how I can update this based on the video of Cas Holman. Um, for starters, I guess one thing I did is made a viable way to make this how I wanted. Um, so well, okay, this is a little bit more difficult to do one-handed, but uh, come on, we have like a rough transition between the different frames using this wheel, but this is so hard to do, but with just one hand. Um, so we could spin that. So that's more of a better version of how I wanted this to work, because now we have turning. Um, for how I wanted what the third iteration would be on how to make this more open-ended for people that would play with this toy, the final product that is, I was thinking that there should be more creativity with the toy. Right now it really is just a linear story. But I imagine that if I could incorporate a decision wheel with the clock, that would go hand in hand with it, um, and that decision wheel decides where you want the story to go, then that would make the story more open ended. Of course, since this is, as I said, just a linear story, um, uh, this would need way more frames. It would need multiple paper wheels, or more story wheels, as I would say, uh, to show uh, a more open-ended story based on players' actions. And the other thing I thought about too that would make it more creative based on the video is maybe children would want to have a toy where they can create their own stories, and they would just have uh, the clock as a frame to make their own, choose their own adventures. Um, so, maybe have empty gaps where they could fill in what happens next, decide what they can do. At least that's the idea I had to make this a more open-ended toy that people could play with on their own. It's not the direction that I initially had thought that this would take, but I do think that based on the video we were watching, that there is more than one way to design a story clock. If that if there is, if I were to name this concept. So that's the idea I had. I wish, and it's funny because I have an idea for it. I know how this looks in my mind, but actually designing and actually making it so is a different story. But I do think I'm on the right track, at least concept wise. So we'll see how that goes.